Welcome to another installment of Turn Up the AC Hot Takes with Reason on a solo edition. Sorry for the delay out there. I tried to go live earlier. I was having some technical difficulties. So, yeah, man, we just chilling right now. Waiting for a couple people to get here. We could talk some basketball, you know what I mean? When you drop in, go ahead and say what's up. You know what I'm saying? Preview for the season. I want to get into a talk about top 10 NBA teams, like who y'all think are the top 10 teams in the league. I got my list right here ready to go. I was watching a little bit of the Pelicans game, Pelicans and Raptors. You know, those of you who know and are regulars of the show who have watched in the past know that I'm a big fan of Lonzo, Brandon Ingram, Josh Hart, all the former Lakers who I wish we could have held on to, but unfortunately, that's how things go. I mean, at the same time, we do got Anthony Davis now, so I can't be mad entirely. I've been looking forward to the Lakers-Clippers for a while. Paul George ain't playing tonight, so we got to I hope we smack the Clippers tonight. And because even with Paul George, I still don't see how the Clippers can beat the Lakers because they don't got no answer for Anthony Davis. Nobody does, really. LeBron and AD on that pick and roll is going to be deadly. Man, I really can't wait. I can't wait to get this game going. What, about an hour? Well, yeah, about an hour from now, it'll be on. Yeah, man. So there was a lot of movement this offseason. KD, Kyrie play for Brooklyn. The Warriors ain't as formidable as they once were. I think they'll still be a dangerous team before the season's over. News just came out earlier, though, from Steve Kerr talking about Klay might not even play this season. So that kind of hurts Golden State, especially I got them making the playoffs still. I was anticipating Klay Thompson coming back, but it looks like he may or may not play this season, which is kind of crazy to think about. Klay missing an entire year and KD missing the entire year. Yeah, man. So I wanted to get going and talking about who I have as my top 10 teams in the league. I wanted to start at number 10. Number 10, I got the Brooklyn Nets. I got Brooklyn as number 10, and going into the season, my top 10 teams. Obviously, by the end of the season, this list is probably going to change. But as of right now, I got Brooklyn coming in at number 10. They would be a lot higher if KD wasn't out. I think Kyrie's going to have a huge year, a bounce-back year, if you ask me. I'm a big fan of Kyrie Irving. He's a top 5 point guard in the league. The highest, anybody could have him ranked maybe 3 or 4, because the top 2 point guard positions are on lock with Steph and Damian Lillard, in my opinion. But yeah, coming in at number 10, I got Brooklyn. I think they got a nice little squad out there. Adding DeAndre Jordan was big for them. Yeah, man. I think they're going to be a top 4 seed in the East, even without KD. I think if KD was playing this year, they could easily be the 1 seed and probably the favorite to come out of the East. But him not being there, that's a huge loss because most people, myself included, when he's healthy, have Kevin Durant as the best player in the NBA. I think it's pretty unanimous by now that when he is healthy, people have him as number 1. So yeah, coming in at number 10, I got started with the Brooklyn Nets. So let me look at my list because I really just wrote my list down earlier today. Coming in at number 9 on my top 10 NBA teams, I got the Utah Jazz. I think what they did this offseason was pretty big, adding Mike Conley, next to Donovan Mitchell. I think they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. But in the Western Conference, it's so stacked from top to bottom that I have Utah as a 7 seed in the West. But I still have them as the 9th best team in the NBA. As my preseason rankings going in, starting this season. Coming in at number 8, I had the Golden State Warriors, but this was also before I found out, Steve Kerr was talking about Klay is probably not going to play this year. But I mean, I'm not gonna change my list. This is what I had going in to the season because it doesn't change anything right now because Clay wasn't gonna play anyways right now. So coming in at number 8, I have the Golden State Warriors. My number 7 team in the NBA, I have the Denver Nuggets. I think they're a strong team. They're a year better. You know, that deep playoff run they had was really good for them. Going to, second round, losing to Portland, that was really big for them. A lot of experience, they got from that playoff run. Jamal Murray is a pretty good player, although I'm not a fan of him, to be honest with you, but he's a pretty good player. Who knows how good he can be. The Joker, I have him as my number 10 player in the NBA this season. He wouldn't be top 10 if it wasn't for some injuries, but that's the reason why I had him in the top 10. So you can go ahead and check that video out too. I put it up about 2 weeks ago, I think it was. Yeah, coming in at number 7, Denver Nuggets. Oh, another thing about Denver, I don't know if you guys out there know about Michael Porter Jr. He was their first-round draft pick last year. I think he was number 13 or something like that. But he was in the lottery last year. He would have been a top 1, top 2, at worst top 3 pick if he wasn't injured. That's how good Michael Porter Jr. can be. I'm really hoping he is able to bounce back from his injuries because he had a serious back injury, if I'm not mistaken, and he only played in 1 game, maybe 2 games for I think it was at Michigan when he was in college. I've heard of this kid when he was in high school, and I started following him ever since then. He can handle the rock. He can score. He can shoot. He can be an all-around, top player in the league in some years if he's able to stay healthy. That's a big if, though, because he's been dealing with a lot of injuries the past couple of years. And, I mean, he sat out all of last season. So, technically, this would be his rookie year if he is able to get, back and be on the court. If he is able to be anything like his potential says he can be, then we got to watch out for the Denver Nuggets because they can be a serious problem if you add him to what they already have. Yeah, man. So I'm going to move on with my list. Number 6, I have the Portland Trailblazers coming in at number 6. I have them at 6 because Damian Lillard. I mean, damn. What can you say about the guy? I mean, I think he's the second best point guard in the NBA after Steph Curry. I'm going to give Steph Curry that respect because of what he's done in the past, since Golden State took off. I think Damian Lillard could potentially be the best point guard in the league. I mean, he has this year to prove it, I have Portland making a pretty deep run in the playoffs. So if you haven't saw my Western Conference predictions, I put it up, I think, 2 nights ago. You should go check that out, too. But, yeah, coming in at number 6, they got Portland. One thing with Portland is, I mean, they prove everybody wrong every year. So many so-called experts have them as a low seed or, 5, 6, 7, 8 seed. And they always prove us wrong every single year. And they're a top 3, they're a top 4 seed every single year. I don't think this is going to be no different this year. They're going to be a top team. They're going to have one of the better records in the league. And that's why I have them ranked as the 6th best team in the NBA. Coming in at number 5, I got the Houston Rockets. I think they're going to win a lot of games. I have them finishing with the 1 seed in the West because they're going to win a lot of games. They're great. They're going to be a great regular season team. I put the emphasis on the regular season because every year we see it with James Harden. He has a huge year. He's in the MVP discussion. Last year, he averaged 35, 36 points. And then in the playoffs, he doesn't perform up to the standard that he set in the regular season. And it's the same. It's a cycle every single season. But the addition of Westbrook, I think, is big. And I think him and Westbrook are going to figure it out together. At least as far as the regular season is concerned. Because once the playoffs happen, I don't think they have enough to beat the Lakers, the Clippers, and even Portland, because I think Portland could potentially beat them in the playoffs. But as far as regular season, I think they're going to be a really, really solid team, and I have them picked as the number 1 seed for the Western Conference this year. But I have them as the 5th best team in the NBA. Coming in at number 4, I got the Milwaukee Bucks. I think Giannis is going to be in contention for MVP once again. Losing Brogdon is going to hurt them, but they won't really feel that pain, I think, until the playoffs. When they start, second round and potentially in the conference finals. Giannis is like I say, he's going to be in the MVP discussion once again. Can he win it again? Who knows? I personally don't think he will, because my pick for MVP is a little bit later in my list, a little bit higher up, from teams. So, I got Milwaukee coming in at number 4 on my top 10 NBA teams. Coming in at number 3, I got the 76ers. I think adding Al Horford was probably, other than KD going to Brooklyn, at least, other than that move, I think Al Horford to the Sixers is the biggest move in the Eastern Conference, because it hurts Boston and it obviously strengthens the Sixers. And the one player in the East who could, physically stand up to Joel Embiid is now his teammate. And I think that's only going to propel them to the NBA Finals. I have the Sixers as my pick to go to the finals this year. It's a pretty trendy pick. Most people are saying they're going to go. If they didn't add Al Horford, I would not be saying this. I would pick the Bucks to beat the Sixers. I think Al Horford is going to be the difference in that series when they, potentially do play. And I have them playing in the Eastern Conference Finals. I think it's still going to be a long series. It's still going to be a close series. And, I got the Sixers coming in at number 3. Now, my top 2 teams in the NBA are, they share the same building. Number 2, I got the Clippers. I think the Clippers are going to be the second best team in the league. Kawhi Leonard, I have him ranked as the number 1 player going into the season. That is definitely going to change before the season is over. But I give him that respect based on what he did in the playoffs, what he did against Giannis in the playoffs, what he did, during the run, beating the Sixers, and obviously winning the NBA championship and becoming a Finals MVP for his second team. The only player to do it in both conferences. I think all of that, leads up to the reason why I had him ranked number 1 going into the season. Now, granted, if Kevin Durant wasn't injured, I wouldn't have Kawhi Leonard as number 1 player. He would be number 2. But since KD is hurt and probably not playing this year, that's why I have Kawhi Leonard as the number 1 player in the league. So I got the Clippers coming in at number 2. I think Paul George next to him. And then with Patrick Beverley, that perimeter defense is going to be amazing. It's going to be fun to watch them, do their thing. But I don't care what nobody says. They have no answer for Anthony Davis. We are way bigger up front with Davis, JaVale McGee, and Dwight Howard. So, that's why I have them number 2. And obviously, the number 1 team in the league I have is the Los Angeles Lakers. They're my pick to win the championship this year. Picking up AD, Danny Green, Avery Bradley was a big pickup. And I was a little iffy and skeptical about picking up Dwight Howard, but I do like what I'm seeing from him from the preseason. I hope it translates into the regular season, and I would love to see him become our starting center, by the end of the season. So those are my top 10 teams in the league. I got coming in at number 10, Brooklyn, number 9, Utah, number 8, Golden State, number 7, Denver, number 6, Portland, number 5, Houston, number 4, Milwaukee, 3 is the Sixers, and then the Clippers at 2, and then the Lakers at number 1. Those are my top 10 NBA teams. So I just wanted to put that out there. I just wanted to really just talk basketball. I haven't went live and talked basketball in a long time. I missed the NBA. I know a lot of you out there did as well. Shout out to my one watcher right now. I appreciate you. Yeah, man, it's gonna be a very, very fun season. There's legitimately, I wouldn't say there's like 9 or 10 teams that could win the championship, but I think legitimately you could say 6 teams, maybe 7 teams. 7 teams could potentially win the championship this year. It's pretty incredible, the parity in the league now. It hasn't been this wide open, damn, and at least not this decade. You know, not from 2011 on. It hasn't been this wide open. But it's really good to see that there is so much parity in the league. There's a lot of dynamic duos everywhere. And I think the 2 best duos are in Staples Center, with LeBron and AD being number 1, and then Kawhi and Paul George being number 2. Yeah, man, I'm very much looking forward to tonight's game with the Lakers and the Clippers. It's gonna be interesting to see the starting lineup for the Lakers, like, because I'm still, obviously Kyle Kuzma's not playing tonight and Paul George isn't playing tonight, but it's gonna be interesting to see who we start. Obviously LeBron and AD. I'm thinking he's probably going to start JaVale McGee at the 5, maybe Danny Green and Avery Bradley. That's pretty much the lineup when I play 2K. That's my starting 5, and then I have Kuzma as my 6th man, just because I like to run LeBron at the point, which I think in the playoffs is something that we should do. Maybe not so much in the regular season because, it's a marathon, and we got to save LeBron because he's 35, year 17. We can't burn him out early. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be a really fun season, to see what goes on and to see, just how things turn out and to see all the predictions that we've been making, from people, that so-called experts, and then to all the YouTube channels out there, all the predictions that everybody got. It's good to see how right or how wrong we are. Yeah, man. So I just wanted to go, talk a little bit about the NBA, give you my top 10 teams. I was hoping to go live earlier, but I had some issues because I haven't been streaming in a long time. So I had to download some stuff or whatever. So I did that. But yeah, I may or may not be going live after the game. I don't know. We'll see what happens. We got lives and stuff, so it's kind of tough to go live often. But I will be going live from as much as I can throughout the season. Talk about anything that goes on with the Lakers, anything that goes on in the NBA. If you haven't seen it yet, go ahead and check out my Eastern Conference predictions, Western Conference predictions, and then my top 10 players in the league. Those I put up in the recent weeks. So yeah, man, I appreciate you for watching. Once again, I'm Reason. This is Turn Up the AC Hot Takes. Looking forward to a very fun NBA season. Once again, I got the Lakers winning the championship this year over the 76ers. So I talk about that in previous videos. So I want to know who y'all think is going to win title this year, or who you think the finals matchup is going to be, who you think the MVP is going to be. Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about as well. I believe Anthony Davis can win MVP this year if LeBron does what he's talking about. Kind of take a back seat and let AD go off, because AD is going to get us 12, 13 rebounds a game, and he could potentially average 28 a game. And LeBron can sit back with like 22, 24 points a game, 20, maybe even something like that. He could probably average 10 assists. He could probably lead the league in assists this year if he's handling the ball more. I mean, having AD, all you gotta do is throw it up, and AD's gonna go get it. So it's gonna be fun to see that. So yeah, I just wanted to drop a few thoughts, go live a little bit, knock off the cobwebs. It's been a while since I've done this. So I want to thank you for watching. My name is Reason, and this has been Turn Up the AC Hot Takes. And until next time, we're out. Thank you.